Thanks for having this hearing. I want to thank my colleagues in particular, but I also want to thank the panel. Great panel. Landry stole the show. That's okay, right? Charlotte, thank you for your presentation. It was really meaningful, and I'm glad Landry can be in the front row for it. Laura Lester, I asked my staff, how does a person apply for SNAP food stamps in my home state of Illinois? And they handed me a 19-page application.
That's correct.
19-page application for $6 a day. And the 20th page is all the possible ways they can challenge what you put in the 19-day pages.
There is no more thorough program in terms of the application process and the verification process. It is complicated and hard to apply for and receive SNAP.
And so here's a person who may be unemployed or maybe partially employed.
Correct.
Maybe dealing with raising children, may not have a spouse in the house, may have challenges of their own in terms of understanding things that are written here and answering. In some states, you just can't file one of these forms and walk away from it. You have to renew the filing on a regular basis to prove you are continuing to meet the work requirements.
That's correct.
Has that been your experience?
Yes. In terms of the folks who fall into the category of what we call ABODs, able-bodied dependent adults without dependents, they absolutely have to consistently provide information about their work status.
And I'll bet you, I'm not sure, you can tell me, I'll bet you there's a helpline that you can call and spend a good part of your day listening to music on a telephone.
I will say that Alabama is one of the few states that never adopted a call center, and I'm a little bit grateful for that because I understand that the wait times in other states can be up to hours long to try to get help. So yes, that is correct.
So we're taking people who are struggling, who have limited income, education may be great and not so great, who knows. Children may be a challenge or they may not be. And we're telling them, fill out this form and be prepared to renew it on a regular basis to avoid the possibility that somebody is trying to game the system and get $6 a day. Is that it?
That is exactly right. And again, as I've mentioned, SNAP is the most efficient program and it has the most integrity there is. Other programs rely on SNAP's rigorous qualification system to then in turn let those folks into their programs because of how thorough they are. It is very challenging, it is very thorough, and I say all that to say, again, when folks talk about error rates or fraud rates, or they conflate the two, it's very frustrating because, again, the state office is, as you mentioned with your application, very, very thorough in what they do.
Amy, let me ask you one quick question about the tax situation here. The Republicans are arguing we're just continuing the tax cut from Trump's first term in office. Is that true?
No, sir, it is not.
Tell me why it's not true.
They are adding additional tax cuts that are extremely expensive and skewed to the wealthy, first of all. And secondly, those initial tax cuts that were passed at that time were passed under a short term because they were extremely costly. And so renewing them extends that cost, increases the debt and the deficit for the American people, and deprives us of the ability to fund programs like those that the other panelists have talked about.
Is it true that during his first term as president, Donald Trump added more to the national debt than any president in the history of the United States?
Yes, sir, it is.
And what about this time around? If they meet their goals, will they break that record?
Yes, they will.
And because of that, we could get into something called sequestration, which says your budget's too far out of balance. And as a result of that, there could be cutbacks in Medicare. Is that a possibility?
It is certainly a possibility.
So the promise never to touch Medicare is broken in this bargain as well.
It could be.
Understood. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.